I'm here to the home of Yandis, Alexa Champion, and of course Ferrari's biggest fan, as we are going to go to our Happy Birthday Grand Prix. Oh yay! It's time for our Happy Birthday to you, Happy Birthday to you, Happy Birthday dear Alexa Champion, Happy Birthday to you. That's right, Happy Birthday, and of course Happy Wedding Anniversary Grand Prix for us this year, obviously happening on the 29th of June 2025 will be the Austrian Grand Prix, round 11 of this amazing 2025-2025 FIA Formula 1 World Championship. So we are very happy, obviously, to be coming up to this place, which is the closest to obviously where we've been born. So it couldn't have been happening at a better location, could it? And yeah, here with our 2025 version, in this exclusive race introduction, we will tell you everything about the race. We will also tell you a little bit about the format changes, which are a little bit different from the past 2 years, maybe a little bit to our dismay, but I'm sure, and maybe also to the fans that will be attending it at the track named after one of our biggest rivals. Obviously, this is the Red Bull Ring, isn't it? So, yeah, lots to talk about in this 11th race introduction. Obviously, for this season, we will take a look at the track, which features the shortest lap time of all of the lap times, at the circuits in this year's calendar. It is not the shortest track, obviously Monaco is, but it is super fast. Features a lot of 90-degree corners, so definitely do check out then the hot lap and then the red hot lap, to see just how we exploded, for example. Again, we've been really good at planting in on the pole positions as we are chasing these Formula 1 Grand Prix winner trophies. And yeah, also definitely do check out the hot lap for the F125, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm sure you've already seen all of the F125 fastest laps, so it will be a lot of fun, because that hot lap, we were very much on the limit when we were doing it originally with the F124. And then, as you guys know, one of the biggest news in the world of Formula 1 is that the F1 movie has been released, right? So, the premiere is actually just happening around, the time that we are recording this video. We've already obviously seen all the drivers on that red carpet over there, in New York City on the Times Square. It was great to see Brad Pitt, obviously, one of our favorite, actors. And yeah, we cannot wait to see the movie. The premiere obviously has taken place, for the people, but I think worldwide it will be just before the race. So lots of excitement obviously in that F1 25 game. You can also see everything about the F1 movie. And yeah, after that, what has also happened is, as you will see on the Scuderia Red Retina iMac, is that actually the table has been changed quite a lot as a result. So that's maybe not the change that we really wanted, because you won't see the big faces of the drivers. And I guess that was only for the first 10 rounds of this year's championship, and now it will become a history, as it will be slightly different, as the F1 official website has been remodeled. But yeah, we have to go with it. So we also obviously do a little bit of a change, which is that now, obviously, because the summer season has started, we will always be turning on the air conditioner, but it shouldn't affect the quality of the sound. Definitely do let me know here in the comments below. So yeah, what to tell you obviously about this track, as Scuderia Ferrari, when we go racing over here, as we will be chasing obviously this beautiful Formula 1 Grand Prix winner trophy, it's really time to start winning, right? There has been actually quite a big change, as you can see on that beautiful calendar over there, because the Spanish Grand Prix has really taken place on the 1st of June, and it took 4 weeks really until 29th of June, which is of course my happy birthday, and also with Angel Amy our happy wedding anniversary. That's a long time where lots of the upgrades obviously can play a big critical role, with Canada being a bit of an outlier, obviously, in terms of not really being located in this European part of the season, but mostly due to the characteristics of the track, right, which is not like your regular circuit. I think here, and of course especially for example in Great Britain and Belgium, definitely we will get an idea of just how well the upgrades are working, because we do need to make sure as Scuderia Ferrari, that we are, chasing the victories, right? It was great to see, the 13 win, which was sadly Mercedes, not us. We won the sprint already, but yeah, again, we do not want the return of the oranges to the top step. Otherwise, we are getting very close to the midway point of the season, and it's really here where last season really truly started, and you had lots of different winners, and it became ever so exciting, right? So we will exactly see how it goes. And speaking of different teams winning, and speaking of sprinting and Belgium, yes, the Austrian Grand Prix this year is not a sprint race, so we are still waiting for the third sprint Grand Prix of the weekend, and that will happen in Belgium, right? Because obviously with Belgium there's a bit of uncertainty over the long-term future. It might be, for example, going with the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. It might be alternating, so we will see exactly what happens there. But yeah, just like it was in 2023, obviously the Chinese GP took one of the sprints away from Belgium. It's returning to Belgium, but this time it is being kind of taken away from Austria, which I think is a bit of a pity, because I've had lots of success here and love the sprints here. I think the track is really well designed for the sprints, but in Belgium it will of course be a lot of fun as well. So yeah, that is a big change. So it is a standard Grand Prix, and as we can see, for example, there on the calendar, it will be the 5th standard Grand Prix pretty much in a row. So it kind of equals the longest successive streak, right, that you had from Abu Dhabi last year to obviously the Bahrain, the GP over here. Yeah. Actually not, because of the Chinese GP. So yeah, this is now the longest streak since obviously last season. That a huge gap between Austria and obviously the United States, where you did have 7 races without the sprint Grand Prix weekend. So over here we will still have to wait for the 2 more races, and then there will be a sprint Grand Prix weekend. So another 7 long waits, which means that that has a bit of implications on how the championship can change, and we will show it to you in the new format. Yeah, let me know how you like it. It might be a bit disappointing, but anyways, this is lots of changes obviously happening. So over here, shall we take a look at how Scuderia Ferrari has been successful here in Australia? Of course. So everybody, let me turn this beautiful Scuderia Red Retina iMac, and to definitely show it to you. So over here, you can see, so this is obviously the track used to be called the A1 ring, right? It should be really called the Young ring, because ever since it returned to the calendar in 2014-2014, that Grand Prix is always it always takes place at the end of June. So pretty much it very often coincides with my happy birthday, and I always win on my happy birthday. Of course. So over here, yes, you can see just 9 turns. It's actually greatly enjoyable, and if you can make it under 65 seconds, definitely under 64 seconds, you will be on pole position, right? You can see lots of the DRS zones, which also helps to keep the field close. So that could be very interesting over here. And yes, obviously we haven't won here for quite some time, even though with Leclerc in 2019, obviously we were very unfairly treated by the Verstappen, who now obviously on the verge of a 1 race ban. So that's a good omen, and hopefully we will be able to recover some of that pace. So as you can see, lots of activation zone. Pretty much any straight that's longer than 400-500 meters has the DRS zone. So 3 detection points. That again is quite interesting, and that the Red Bull, because obviously thanks to the Red Bull, that's one of the greatest things. Sometimes we have to admit it, that they did for Formula 1, which is that they brought this iconic race back for this particular track. That actual Red Bull is located right up here, in between or in amongst the turns 4, 5, and 6. So you can see there. This is how it's named. Carlos Sainz, obviously former Ferrari driver, has the lap record here. Normally this race takes place over 71 laps, but Sainz actually set it in 2020 for McLaren, believe it or not. One of the great features obviously of the track is the beautiful Ardennes Mountains that you can see over here. Ardennes Mountains, sorry, we are not in Belgium. The Styrian Mountains, sometimes confused with the Alps mountain range. Yeah, it really really gives it a very distinctive feel. I have to say it has to be one of the most picturesque Grand Prix to go to, but we've personally never been there. But how about, for example, our successes? So over here, as you can see, we won here 5 times. Obviously, the race has been going like on and off at different circuits, kind of like Spa-Francorchamps. It's been cut down a lot over here, right? So you could see, for example, the new section, around the pit lane and around, the pit box over there, that's a new section. Otherwise, it just wanted, its way through the public roads, as you can see. So won here 5 times, so obviously twice with Michael Schumacher, it is time again, to add a new Red Bull ring to claim the victory. Usually it's been a strong race, obviously for Red Bull Racing, but also for Mercedes-Benz. So but we've been on 1 pole position. We set 8 pole positions in total. Leclerc has obviously gotten it in the past few years, and then obviously we've been dominating, especially with Michael Schumacher when the track limits were not so serious. Well, I wish that was the case when I did my hot lap. Here you have the 5 fastest laps for Scuderia Ferrari and 28 podiums. So again, we have to finish on a podium, and I believe we will be able to, hopefully with both drivers. There is no sprint sprint race, so definitely it will be very, very important to make it onto the podium with both Leclerc and Hamilton, and that would help us obviously a lot to keep up the pace in the championship, right? So yes, this is about how well we perform over here at the A1 ring, or the Red Bull ring. You can see it nicely highlighted over here, obviously this being the old section and here this being the new section. And now, guys, the big shot over here, which is the new table. Oh my god, so here it looks still okay, right? So this is the driver standing for the 2025 season. So here so they basically now keep just the top 3, kind of like they had last year, because if you go to the drivers bulletin over here, you will get them according to which team they line up for. So you don't have the drivers championship anymore, but this is how the drivers championship looks like. So Oscar Piastri, leading for McLaren, extended his lead after Canada going strong with 198 points, aiming to be the first to record 200 points for a season. Second is then Lando Norris over there with 176 points. That collision with his teammate Piastri was very costly, and hopefully there are many more coming, because that would really bring bring the fire into the championship fight. Third is the reigning world champion Verstappen of 155 points. He will be aiming for a home victory, but obviously we hope it will be red. And here, what is happening is that they made it just like this. So terrible, right? You can hardly see it, but yeah. Let me walk you through it. So, then we have for George Russell for Mercedes, 136 points. So, we are obviously 5th with Charles Leclerc, 104 points, and the main goal is to close down on Russell, right? He now has the lead of 32 points. That victory, obviously the top 4, they've all recorded the victory. 6, Lewis Hamilton recorded a sprint victory. I think, if the stars align, Leclerc could be technically the 6th winner over here, and then the top 6 would have all won at least a race or a sprint race. Lewis Hamilton has 79 points, and yeah, we will see again. I've been very, very successful here with Scuderia Ferrari, and I hope the drivers will be as well, because we really have to be making up the ground in the championship. So definitely Leclerc looking very strong for this race. 7 is Andrea Kimi Antonelli for Mercedes, 63 points, and then we have 8 Alexander Albon Williams, 42 points. 9 is then Esteban Ocon for Haas, 22 points. 10 is Isaac Hadjar for Racing Bulls, 21 points. 11, Nico Hülkenberg going very, very strong, the only German driver on the grid for Kick Sauber, 20 points. Can you believe it? They've only scored, I believe, 4 points last season, so already gotten 5 times more. 11, still Lance Stroll for Aston Martin with 14 points. 13 is then Carlos Sainz for Williams with 13 points. I guess Sainz maybe will be 14 with 14 points by the time the checkered flag falls. 14 is then Pierre Gasly Alpine, 11 points. 15, obviously we then have the Yuki Tsunoda for Red Bull Racing, 10 points. 16, Fernando Alonso for Aston Martin, scoring 8 points throughout the season, but obviously 8 points in the last 2 races. He definitely is moving up the table very, very quickly. Then at 17th place we have Oliver Behrman Haas, 6 points. He really needs to pick up the pace a little bit after what happened in in the recent races. 18 is Liam Lawson Racing Bulls, 4 points. The last who has gotten the points. 19 Gabriel Bortolotto, kicks over 0 points. Could possibly, be the moment for the reigning F2 champion. Hulkenberg's got 20 points, so he's got to score some points. 20th is then Franco Colapinto for Alpine, 0 points, and Jack Doohan will stay 21st for Alpine, 0 points, because he obviously, is not going to be starting in this race. So yeah, this is how the championship looks like. I'm really disappointed that they actually, changed it this way. Yeah, hopefully you guys can still see it. If not, check out the current standings in the description below. Yeah, probably we wouldn't mind so much if we were in the top 3, but sadly we are not. So this was the driver standing, and in terms of the constructor standing, so same thing, happening here. Thankfully we are there. So McLaren leading with 374 points. Then second is Mercedes, 199 points, and we are now third with 183 points. So yeah, it will be interesting to see. Obviously Mercedes was strong in Canada. We expect them to be slower than us here in Austria, and if we are faster than McLaren, we can reclaim that second spot. We definitely do not want to be going back and forth, for that second spot. But why not, right? If, for example, Mercedes would drop down like Red Bull did, that would bring us, for that coveted Constructor Championship fight. So this is how it looks like, nice colors. But once again, you can see the rest of the standings looks like this. So for this Red Bull Racing, 162 points. I do believe that they will probably be very strong here, especially with Verstappen, but I don't think they will catch us. I think that's pretty much where they will finish for the rest of the season. Fifth is then Williams, 55 points, 555, pretty nice for them. 6 Haas, 28 points, 7 Racing Bulls, 28 points, 8 Aston Martin, 22 points, 9 Kick Sauber with 20 points. So lots of infighting. I mean, even Williams in 5th place cannot be secure, they cannot be feeling safe. I definitely do believe that for that 5th place, that could be a massive, massive fight, because now we have Saubers, Aston Martins being quicker than maybe Haas or Racing Bulls. So yeah, actually it's a really interesting fight there. And 10 Alpine, 11 points, with Colapinto not delivering. Yeah, it will be interesting, to see what happens there. So this is obviously the constructor standings over here, and we do hope to go to the 2nd place and then use basically, the second half of the season to overhaul McLaren, right? Of course, we've done it many times in history. So yeah, this was the constructor standings, driver standings, and here, this is the A1 ring, or now of course known as the Red Bull ring, or should we say Jan de Swaliksan champion ring? Of course we should, because speaking of me, and my achievements over here. So, one of the most heartbreaking races that I've done over here is, of course, when I lost to Vettel on the final lap, in that middle chicane, around that bull, the turn 6 and 7, I was started 11th, I ran on these tires so long, defended so well against my teammate Vettel in the 2016 race, but ultimately finished 2nd, and it was my worst position over here. So, in fact, Austria could well be, because obviously it's happening on my happy birthday, could well be just like, for example, with Monza and Abu Dhabi, the only race, that I pretty much always won, because then, I basically, I always collected the fastest lap. So, raced here pretty much, 3 times with a sprint, 3 fastest laps, 1 sprint fastest lap. With regards to the podium, always been on the podium. So race here again 3 times. Always on the podium, won twice, obviously, and won the sprint race, as well. And it has been on the pole position, apart from the first race, ever since. So, again, I'm sure, because we are doing the concurrent, the 2024 season, you will actually see the sprint race and the race. So, lots of racing action this weekend. I hope you guys will love it. And I'm sure, we are going to go for our lucky 3 over here, right? Of course, because we always get the lucky 3 in the 2024 season. So, I'm feeling very confident. It will also be great to make this the only sprint track that I've always won, right? So we are aiming for that 2nd sprint victory. Yeah, and hey, listen, I've already, been here on pole position, 3 times, right? So let's make it 2 more poles and 2 more fastest laps, as I have 4 fastest laps to keep the collection growing, as obviously we're chasing the greatness and our 4th Formula 1 World Championship. So, you guys, this was the race introduction to this, the Happy Birthday Grand Prix for Jan de Swaliksan champion, round 11 of the current 2025-2025 FIA Formula 1 World Championship. This is the Austrian Grand Prix. It's just a short 2.5-3 hour drive from the place where I was born. And I'm sure we are gonna go for a victory, right? So everybody, let's support Scuderia Ferrari. But now I have to go racing. I have to go, win some more races to extend my amazing lead in the championship in this Ferrari SF1000 T818 Formula 1 Racing Wheel. And who knows, maybe there are more amazing happy birthday, happy anniversary presents coming. You guys, we will see when it's all done for the exclusive race reaction. Happy birthday to Svalingsa champion Jan! Happy birthday to you! And also, happy names day, with which it really starts from the Tuesday all the way to Sunday, the whole week. Happy names day to you! Happy birthday to you! Happy wedding anniversary to you, Jan Svalingsa champion and Angela V. Happy birthday to you! Oh yay! Let's celebrate with Ferrari victory!